A boil water advisory remains in effect tonight for portions of the South Bay and Coronado. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us on this Friday. I'm Marcella Lee.
And I'm Jesse Pagan in for Carlo Cicchetto. The advisory is for people who get their water from California American Water. The company is now handing out free cases of water to people affected with long lines spanning blocks today. Meantime, local leaders like Imperial Beach Mayor Paloma Aguirre want answers. She wants the city council to investigate.
The advisory issued Thursday affects customers who live in the city of Imperial Beach. We've highlighted them in red. Coronado south of Fiddler's Cove and portions of San Diego and Chula Vista. You're looking right here at the areas that are affected. So if you live within these boundaries, again, you are asked to please boil your water.
The boil water advisory is affecting businesses in 4 cities, but some didn't know there was an alert.
CBS 8's David Gottfredson found out exactly where the contaminated water was tested and why some businesses may not have been notified.
Customers all over the South Bay were showing up at Starbucks locations only to find out the coffee shops were shut down by the boil water order.
I was actually running to the bank and gonna get my Starbucks order after that, and that's I'm in shock. I'm in actual shock.
Other businesses remained open but stopped selling fountain drinks because those machines typically use filtered tap water.
She said the soda machine shut down, so I'm assuming the water's connected to that.
But some businesses along Palm Avenue in the city of San Diego and Imperial Beach had no idea a boil water order had been issued. The managers would not talk on camera, but they said off camera that they had not been notified of the boil water order by the company, California American Water.
If customers have signed up to receive our emergency notification, they could get a message via text message, email, or voicemail.
CalAm spokesperson Brian Barreto said customers who don't sign up for emergency alerts will not be directly notified. But the company has posted alerts on social media. He says the cause of the contamination was E. coli, and that it was only detected in one testing location from a faucet on the outside of a building on Seacoast Drive in Imperial Beach.
We believe that the exterior portion of the sampling location was actually contaminated, which caused us to have this positive test result.
And he says it's very unlikely the contamination came from sewage flow into the United States from Tijuana.
We do not believe that the integrity of our water supply and our water system has been breached. And so the likelihood that an emerging contaminant could flow into our water system is very unlikely.
Now, we are live out here in Imperial Beach at Mike Hess Brewing, one of the few establishments that remains open in the boil water zone. They're open because they're not serving food and they're only serving beer in disposable cups, so they don't have to do the dishes. Now, the water company says they still have to do some flushing of their system, and they have to do a couple more tests that come back negative before they can say the water is safe to drink. That may not happen until tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening.
David, we've learned all this came about from one positive test from one faucet in Imperial Beach. Do we know the location of that faucet?
Well, this brewing company, this beer bar is right on Seacoast Drive where the test came back. So the test was taken somewhere in this neighborhood, but the water company will not say exactly where that faucet is.
All right, David Gottfredson continuing our coverage on the boil water advisory in the South Bay. David, thank you. CBS 8 is working for you on this. If you're in the advisory area, officials say you should boil all water for 3 minutes, even if it's filtered. They say to use bottled water for drinking, brushing your teeth, and making food, and don't use water from appliances connected to your water line, like ice from your fridge.